Hi, and welcome to the Journey to Happy podcast. This is a podcast about self introspection, self growth, mindfulness, life coaching, and all things related to the mind as we become the CEO of our own life. That's right. In here, we all become promoted to CEOs. Join me for weekly episodes on mindset tips, motivational stories, and of course, mindfulness based tools that will help us grow our confidence, grow our compassion, our zen, and our focus. I am a recovered self sabotager, a recovered anxiety junkie, and I can promise you that in here I am devoting all of my best mindset tips and shifts to help you get rid of all the elements of your mind that come to stand on the way of you and happiness, you and your full potential. So I am so excited that we're connecting. I am Olga. I am a retired social worker and now life coach, a mindset coach, a wife, blissfully a mother, and I am also your host. Thanks for joining me. See you inside. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Journey to Happy. I am Olga, your host, and I'm excited, very excited to have you for this episode here on this particular Monday. I would like to begin by telling you about one of my clients in my program, Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life, who recently had a breakthrough. And she wrote me this: Olga, thank you so much. After hesitating so much, I was able to have a difficult conversation with my sister. It didn't go well at all. However, I was courageous enough to stick to my plan and to express myself fully. I didn't lose my cool, but I also didn't shy away from saying all the things that I needed to say. In the end, I felt heard and I felt respected by me. Thank you for giving me the courage to stick to my plan. Guys, when I get these messages, I get a mix of emotions between I want to cry, I'm so happy, and I want to jump and do a dance, or I just want to come through my phone and I wish my arms could come through the phone and give a big hug to my client who has been working so diligently in becoming more assertive and in not ignoring her inner voice. It just makes me so happy. And I wanted to share with you, because it's not always that you hear from the work that I do with my clients. And I just wanted to let you know that when I coach clients, I coach them obviously through whatever issues they bring to the sessions, but I also coach them by teaching them the things that have been helpful to me. And I always coach from a place of intention, from a place of being a genuine human who may have been through difficult things myself. You maybe this comes as a surprise to you, but I didn't always speak my truth. I wasn't always from the mentality that speaking my truth was helpful. I used to avoid conflict so much that I would rather ignore my inner voice, not say the things that I was thinking, not setting boundaries, so that I could avoid conflict, especially with the difficult personalities that are loud, and I would definitely tend to shy away from this. So from all those lessons and from my training, I coach people from that perspective. From my personal experience, I never let my personal experience get lost in this process of coaching. And so this particular example from my client makes me so happy, so happy, because I know what it's like to have your legs shake, to have your heart pound so hard you think it's gonna come out of your chest, but feel so darn proud at the end because you've done it, because you didn't ignore yourself. And so that's what I want to talk about today: how to prioritize yourself and why to do it. Why do we need to prioritize? Like, how many of you have heard the plain instruction of putting your air mask on you before you place it on your dependents? And my entire life, that made perfect sense. When I was inside a plane, they gave the instructions. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take care of myself first. But now that I'm a mom, I have to tell you that concept just, it seems a little bit more difficult. How could I do this and not take care of my baby first? And then it hits me, well, actually, if I pass out, I am no good to the 15-month-old. He needs me to be strong. It just brings me back to this concept that definitely we're never wrong when we're trying to take care of ourselves first. However, we have these limiting beliefs that say that if you truly care about others, you absolutely have to put them first. And while it's a nice romantic idea to put them first, honestly, if I pass out, I've done nothing for my kid. Actually, I've harmed him. I have intentionally created harm to my kid if I place the mask on him first and didn't take care of my needs to the point that I wasn't a responsive human, right? Like, if I lose consciousness. So I want you guys to think about this next time you're thinking about not prioritizing yourself. Maybe it's not as dramatic as passing out, but long term, when we stop prioritizing ourselves, our soul begins to like die, quiet down. Like our soul begins to look like winter, no leaves on that tree at all. And the worst part is that we tend to point the finger, blame, and tell others that it is because of their doing that we feel this way. How many of you have raised your hand, and I promise you I'm raising my hand, have postponed your happiness, postponed working on you, prioritizing your goals, what's important to you, under this idea that it's okay, it's not my time yet, I am taking care of everybody else first? I was having a conversation with my team, actually. My team is mostly women currently. And they were all telling me, yes, when I was telling them that I was going to be talking about this subject, they were all saying and agreeing, absolutely, you feel like nobody cares enough about you. You start resenting people in all your relationships, not just intimate relationships, but with your mom, with your friends, with your sister. It begins to feel like nobody cares about you. All you do is give, 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 give. All people want from you is for you to give something, but nobody stops to ask you, what do you want? How do we do this for you? Are you there yet? Is your hand up? Mine is. That was the story of my life. I could so point at that same cycle in all of every single one of my relationships. Somehow I would end up feeling like I wasn't important enough, like people really took from me, that I was feeling a little bit empty each time I interacted with friends, family, with whoever. A random person at the store somehow will just be needing my help and I'll be there helping. And for years, I just felt victim of this. I just felt like, oh my God, there must be something in my personality that makes nobody see my value. Nobody sees my value. I am not kidding. That used to be my perception. And I know I'm not alone. One, because I coach women and I hear this from them. And like I was telling you, just a couple of weeks ago, talking to my team, all the ladies were like, yes, where do we take a course for this, Olga? Where have we talked about this? We want to improve this. We want people to start loving us. We want to begin to feel important. We want people to take less from us. I hate the energy vampires. How do I get rid of these energy vampires? So if that is you, this episode is for you, because we are going to focus on one amazing weapon that we all have, which is the setting the boundary that says, I come first, and that is not selfish, that is responsible. And so that's why I gave you this scenario of the plane again. And I want you, if you're not a mom, if you have no dependents, whether that's an aging parent, somebody that you care for, I still want you to then think of me and my kid, or a mom and a baby in the plane. and what will make most sense, what will be the thing that makes the most sense to do. And I appeal to your intelligence, and I appeal to your sense of like your common sense, to begin to look at prioritizing yourself differently, not from this guilt inducing place. We must put everybody first or else we don't care, because that's a meaning we've given to it. We've given that meaning to what it we've given that meaning to what it's like to help others, to care for others. It means that we don't count. But the frustration and the lack of love that comes from us not prioritizing ourselves, it's just not worth it. Okay, it's not worth it. And you believe me, because you feel it. You feel not loved, not important. And so the solution isn't to change relationships, to cut everybody off, or like only leave the people that like you feel the same way, and so they're willing to give you, and now you're just coming together because you're like, oh, do people take advantage of you as well? Oh, join the club, everybody takes from me. No, no, no. I'm gonna ask you to step into your CEO shoes, ladies. Step into the shoes that remind you that you have choices, that you are the boss, that you have the right, that you are deserving of being a priority in somebody's life. And it better be yours. It better be yours. Raise your hand if you've been ever annoyed at how your husband does all the things, finds the time to take care of his needs. Just the other week, I was coaching a client who said, somehow my husband always finds the time to do what's important to him. And there was so much passive aggression in that comment. I said to her, do you resent him for that? She says, yes. I'm like, that's the problem. You're not even, we become the judges of anybody who prioritizes themselves. We're like, what? You're so selfish. You use that gift card to buy yourself a birthday card? You found the time to go golfing and relax yourself? How dare you set boundaries? How dare you take care of your needs and prioritize yourself? We call them selfish. We resent them. We make them feel bad because they did that. But deep inside, we're like, oh, must be nice. So if that is you, and God knows that's been me, that has been me. So I'm not judging you. I've been the judger. I've been the person resenting my husband for taking care of his needs. Now I see him as my mentor, because he does not repair, like he does not think twice about taking care of himself. He knows it's essential to himself. He's not apologetic about it, and he makes the time. He tells me, is it okay if I go this day or that day? But I'm going. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't love it at first. To me, that felt like an imposition, and like you're not taking, like you're taking care of yourself without me. You're not taking me. And then I felt, well, I don't do that. When do I ever take a day off? And my husband will often tell me, when have you asked? When have you planned for it? And then I realized, holy crap, all this time I've been giving away the power of making decisions, of being important to me. So you see, this was a me problem, but I would have made it seem as though he didn't think I was important enough. He didn't care about me taking time off. Hi, friends. I'm interrupting you here briefly to invite you to join my Detox the Mind online course. This is a do-it-yourself course. It is the step-by-step of how to change your mind from habits that are super unhelpful, like self-sabotaging, like anxiety, like overthinking, and just about any element inside your mind that you currently do by repetition. But there's a better way. You know there is a better way. You might not be interested in joining me yet in private coaching or joining a group coaching method. I get it. Maybe you just want to do this by yourself. This is your opportunity. Detox the Mind offers more than 12 weeks of content, step by step. It's me breaking down all of the steps that a person needs to take in order to really truly detoxify the mind from all those elements that end up feeling pretty heavy and discouraging without having to talk to somebody or having to share in a group. It will give you access, though, to a private Facebook group where from time to time I show up and do lives and answer questions that you can directly ask me from the course itself. What's in the course? A multitude of videos, more than 36 mini videos, as well as workbooks and checklists that help you stay on top of your progress. This course is currently for sale for $299, and it will be yours for life. So if this is something that speaks to you, if you're interested in creating new mental habits, in understanding the functioning of the mind so that you can play along the mind rules and actually get the results that you want, this course is for you. I really hope to see you in there. All the information is in the show notes. And I recently was coaching another client who said to me, when I suggested that she would take time to herself, prioritize herself away from her husband and child, she was like, but then I'll have to schedule my husband to do the same because he doesn't really take much time. It's not your job. But by you taking care of yourself, you're actually teaching people and giving them permission to take care of themselves. I coach a lot of moms, and I always ask this question: how are you teaching your child to take care of himself or herself? Well, I'm kind, I feed them, I take them to school. That is teaching them. You caring for them is teaching them to care for somebody else. But you telling your kid, sorry, it's mom time, and mom is going to go exercise, and mom is going to go out with friends, and mom is going to go have a life outside of this life. And mom is a priority right now. Mom needs to eat. I've gotten accustomed telling my son that, like, he's young, but he can still get it. He wants to play. No, I just fed you because you need to be fed. Now mom has to eat. You can go play. You can do something else, but this is me time. That is healthy. So for all of you who are not feeling important, who are not feeling like you're loved, like people see your value, I want to ask you, do you see your value? Do you have non-negotiables from you to you that say, oh, I gotta move no matter what? I've got to eat no matter what. I'm going to take myself to the movies no matter what. I'm buying myself flowers no matter what. Like, is your relationship with self like you would love these other relationships to be like? Or are you the first one to say, I am not a priority? I am not here to tell you that you have to have the most healthy relationship with yourself before you can be in a healthy relationship, but I am here to tell you that if you do not prioritize yourself, you will continue to feel unimportant, even if all the people around you feel that you're the most important person. You will still find yourself with this lack of value, like you're still desperately looking for the outside world to show you love and importance because you are denying yourself from it. I know we've heard this before. We got to love ourselves before we can love somebody or before we can be loved. Don't roll your eyes at me. Do yourself a favor. Prioritize yourself. Begin by changing the perception that doing that is selfish or rude or bad in any way. Doing that is power. You want to inspire power in any room you walk into, take care of yourself. Prioritize yourself. Walk every step you walk on this earth knowing that you are valuable and that you are your priority. Think of the most confident people that you can think of. Like, I think of Michelle Obama. I think of Oprah. When those ladies step into a room, they don't need to say a word. You feel respect. You want to respect them. And I don't know anything about their personal lives, but I promise you that if I was to look into their personal lives, I will find that they have prioritized themselves. That they have discovered the power that comes from letting go of the limiting beliefs that stop them from saying, I matter, and I matter a lot. And my responsibility to everybody around me is to take care of myself. I don't want to be a heavy bag, heavy weight to the people around me. I want to pick up myself. I want to be light. I want to be the person that influences others to look at themselves and say, I matter. And I'm going to prioritize myself. That's what I want. And I know that you probably are listening to me and thinking, oh yeah, I want to inspire others to go do the same. You can. That's what's so exciting. So when my client wrote this to me, the day that she decided that she was stepping up, that she was going to speak her mind, guess what? Her mother followed. And there has been improvements in this relationship from doing one thing, prioritizing, listening to herself and speaking her truth. Sometimes we're so afraid of doing what's important to us because we're full of fears about being judged. Here's the thing about judgment: you are not God. So people will have opinions about you, and they're entitled to have opinions about yourself. What you can do is raise your self-value to be so high in your heart that people's opinion of yourself are only that, an opinion. They don't become who you are. They're not impacting your self-love. You can hear people's opinions about the color of a wall and not get offended. You can also set the boundary that you're not going to take things personally because you love you, because you're your priority. Some of my clients tell me, Olga, I am afraid of starting to prioritize myself because, I have a lifelong history of not having done that. So people around me are going to have to get used to it. And I say, yeah, allow some time for that. There will be some changes, baby steps. So start with easy moments to prioritize yourself, like saying no. Like yesterday, I did that. My husband said, oh, can you please put the dogs out before I was already in bed? And he was too. But that's his job. That's what he does. I don't do that. I've got all the other jobs. I don't do that one job. Old Olga would have been like, oh, okay, get out of bed, go do that, even though I didn't want to. Olga, who prioritizes herself, says like, I'm sorry, I've done what I needed to do before bedtime. I wasn't counting on doing one, and I'm not doing it. I didn't feel like it. If I had felt like it, I would have done it. So this is just to give you an example of baby steps that you could begin to take. If you find that, for example, saying no is a difficult thing, begin with easier no's that you want to say. So people begin to notice like, oh, okay, we don't always hear yes from this person. And also begin by saying like, no, I need to do this before anything else happens. I have put my foot down so many times and I say, before this house goes out to all the things that we got to do, I've got to exercise. And like, you know what? People will survive. If I am in the garage for 30 minutes exercising or even an hour, people will survive. And to my surprise, they do. They find themselves. They find time for themselves, which is awesome. So contrary to what we think, that if we don't take care of them, nobody's going to take care of them, by not overdoing, but not enabling, by stepping into our own power, by deciding that we have the choice and the right to take care of ourselves, we model that and we free people from this never doing of things, because at some point they begin to believe that they cannot do it. I can't tell you how many times clients have told me, once they start this work and they begin to delegate and they begin to not do it all, that their husbands will say, or people in their life will say, I never did this because I was afraid of not doing it right your way. How crazy is that? How crazy. We can be so preoccupied with doing it all that not only do we not delegate, but we let other people in our life feel that we think they're not good enough. And that's what we do at all. So let's jump into prioritizing ourselves. The benefits are priceless and more than I can name here. I am happy to say many of the clients I'm coaching right now are really experiencing this freedom of prioritizing themselves. And they all, just this morning, I was listening to one of them in tears, sharing with the group, become the CEO of your own life, how excited she was to have had a weekend where she made the mornings about herself and how well her family was. Everybody survived. That is the kind of excitement that I would love for you to have. So play within your limits. Don't push yourself too much that then you don't want to try this again. I want this to be a sustainable way of life. So you want to pick things that feel comfortable for you right at this moment, especially if you don't have a coach. I say play safe, because what my clients have is that if things go wrong, they know that I've got their back and we can just regroup, debrief, and go back at it. But if you don't have that, then choose to begin to prioritize yourself in a way that feels comfortable, in a way that feels is never going to feel easy, but that feels like, okay, I can handle this. And the thing that I would say for everybody listening, if you really want to take this to town and do some work, is to begin by changing the perception that prioritizing yourself is a bad thing. It is not. It's a gift to you and to everybody that cares about you. It's a gift. It's how you establish healthy, secure relationships, not only with yourself, but with everybody else around you. I wanted to keep this short, and I think that I already spoke too much about it. If you guys think that this is something that you want to take a step further, I am so excited to offer you a coaching spot, either in my Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life or my private coaching. I am opening a new cohort of Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life this year. I wasn't planning on it, but there's been enough interest. So starting April 1st, I'm starting a new cohort of Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life. This is a very high touch coaching program. It's group. It's a hybrid of group and private. So all the members get one private call with me a month, and we get 2 calls as a group. And oh my God, you guys are going to hear from these ladies in another episode this month, because I will just let them tell you what it's been like for them to be in this group setting. There is so much research that shows how much women flourish when they are in a community group. So being supported by other women empowering women, it's a real thing. It's powerful beyond measure. And having the support of private work with me allows you to fast forward your progress. This is a 1-year commitment. You are not coming in and out just to test it out. You are committed to yourself primarily, and obviously to this group, who will become sisters to you. So if this sounds like familiar, like not familiar, what am I talking about? But if this sounds exciting to you, just send me a message. I'm taking candidates now. It has to be a good match. Your energy has to be in the right place. You want to have that willingness to do this and take it to the next level. So I'm sending you all my love until I see you again. And I hope to see you guys inside Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life. Talk to you soon.